Hello everyone, my name is Rudimar Hasinon, student from Southern City Colleges taking a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. In this video, we discuss about a method of moral knowledge together with Aldrin Imbay and Arajil Alshainor. So, let's proceed to our topic. They are the types of method of moral knowledge: subjectively based, non-theoretical, normative theories, authority and rational based, moral skepticism, contractualism. Subjectively based, non-theoretical. The sense of just knowing something with regards to morality by means of a strong feeling or hunch. Means it is having the feeling of just knowing something connected to morality by the reason of hunch or the strong feeling. We feel the rightness or wrongness of an action or issue. Intuition usually strikes one prior to thinking deeply about the issue. We put a lot of faith in it because it has an emotional aspect, which means we've got the guts to feel the right and the wrong of the action taken. Due to the deeply minding of the issue, intuition took place, putting a lot of faith in it because of an emotional aspect in processes. So next, a pre-reflective moral response. People are instantly disgusted or otherwise moved by some act. So let's just say it is a pre-reflective moral response. The emotional response provoke them to feel the rightness or wrongness of the issue and hence to put total belief in the certainty of their moral judgment. So, it because of emotional response, a person was provoked to feel the rightness and the wrongness. Subjectively based, non-theoretical conscience, often described as a voice inside one's head, which tells one to do or not to do something, or it troubles them after the fact. Means typically described or referred to as a voice commanding is inside of our mind. This tells us to do or undo things on our own. It urges us to do what is considered moral in one society or community where there is some authority. Means push us to make action that is considered moral in one society and community where authority is visibly existing. So in this theory, conscience is every man's internal mindset twin. We do what is our mind tell us to do, right or wrong, then regret it later once we found it is now necessary to do so. Normative theories, those which prescribe behavior, they tell people how to act. It means commonly normative theories are those who tell people what to do and how to act. Next is several normative theories have been developed and have a substantial effect on people's understanding of morality and their behavior. So means this theory have been developed and causes substantial effect in morality understanding as well as their behavior. All normative theories claim to be A. True, B. Universal, apply to all people at all times. Means most of those belong to these theories claims are true universal that is applicable to all people at all times. Next, they all tell people what to do and what is right and wrong. Some are based on faith or an appeal to some authority, other on reason, still others on both. Which means this tells people what to do as well as right and wrong, basing on faith, appeal to authority, and other reasons. So, in normative theories, this one simply as an advice to someone who is either right or wrong.
These are the types of ethical theories: religious morality, consequentialist, deontological, contract, and virtue. Religious morality. Religions tend to disagree on specific moral issues. There is no one common set of moral rules. Different religions preach different views. This problem sometimes put in terms of the divine command theory. The upshot is that even though the pronouncements are supposed to come from God, people differ about what God is actually commanding us to do. Because the commands are divine, they are beyond question. Because of different religions that we have, there is a disagreement in a specific moral issues. And different religions have different views, and people differ about what God is actually commanding us to do. Example, Muslim and Christians.
Morality and religion. Morality as a normative system is supposed to provide a uniform rule of conduct for all people, which means in normative system it is something driving to provide or give a same rule of conduct to all humans. If these rules varies from person to person, religion to religion, and culture to culture, then we have a large problem. A large problem might because if those rules varies from person to person, religion to religion, as well as culture to culture.
Consequentialist theories means literally concerned with the consequence or outcomes of actions. Consequentialists are concerned about how things turn out. Example, consequentialists, if you did not study and you have an exam, your concern will be you might get a low grade. You, you're worried or concerned about how things turn out. Deontology, system of morality that center on duty. The right action is that which conforms to a principal duty that is predetermined. Such systems are also called non-consequentialist because the moral emphasis is on how the act is done, following a duty rather than the outcome. Deontology does not focus on the consequence of an action. Example, trabaho lang po.
A contract is a legally binding document between at least two parties that defines and governs the rights and duties of the parties to an agreement. A contract is legally enforceable because it meets the requirements and approval of the law.
A contract is like a promise between people. Each person or organization who agrees to do something in a contract is called a party. An agreement or contract says what you and the other person or organization have agreed to do. It is a written list of the promises you have made. Example, agreement between the two people to be married. Another example is a loan agreement between buyers and sellers of a car.
Virtue is a moral excellence. A virtue is a trait or quality that is deemed to be morally good and thus is valued as a foundation of principle in good moral being.
Virtue. Virtue is a moral excellence. A virtue is a trait or quality that is deemed to be morally good and thus is valued as a foundation of principle and good moral being. In other words, it is a behavior that shows high moral standards, doing what is right and avoiding what is wrong. The opposite of virtue is vice.
Contractarianism. Thomas Hobbes. Morality consists in a set of rules governing how people are to treat one another that rational people will agree to accept for their mutual benefits on the condition that others follow those rules as well. This is to govern how people are going to treat one another for their mutual benefits. The rules in this contract has two basic rules. The social contract. Hobbes suggests that there are two basic rules to the social contract. Number one, non-violence. We are not to harm others. Number two, be honest. Avoid deception. Moral skepticism, a branch of ethics which doubt that we can have moral certainty. It may question many things, such as objective moral truth, universalizability, and the basis of right and wrong. Moral skepticism is named a diverse collection of views that deny raise doubt about various roles of reason, morality. Skeptics who deny that we have reason to believe or obey this moral judgment are seen as misguided and dangerous. Cultural relativism. The central idea is that as there are different moral codes in each society, and there is no source to appeal which can provide a universal referent on right and wrong. The differing views are all we have. Each society has its own morality, and none are in any position to say one is better than other. Everyone is equal, equality limited as it were. Ethical subjectivism is like relativism taken to extreme. It say not only do ethical values vary from culture to culture, they vary from one individual to another. So ethical subjectivism, it is the meta-ethical view which claim that ethical sentences express proposition. The truth or falsity of such proposition is eliminably dependent on the actual or hypothetical